Okay, y'all, I am back with another video. Been a minute since, once again, the theme is I'm going back to my roots, honey. No pun intended, but I'm going back to doing a lot of my old school style of videos. So today we're doing the split screen. I'm showing y'all two articles today. So the first one is how a march for Black Trans Lives Matter became a huge event. Because I see a lot of people talking shit and people who are so large that I cannot ignore, no pun intended, to they size, even though they lost quite a bit of weight. Shout out to Phil for losing 50 pounds, but that big head of yours is still a little bit too big, honey. And all that darn on big head of yours, ain't no darn on brain up in the process any common sense. Cause the question was that he posed, the question that was posed, honey, the question that was posed was, why do we have to have a Black Trans Lives Matter? And that was, that's an excellent question. Because the thing is, and then the irony that he said, Black Lives Matter should include everybody. It should include everybody, you would think that. But we know, based off of actions from people like you and people like Cynthia and people like several other folks who act like all Black Lives Matter, but then when it comes to our issues where we are affected the same way with police brutality and stuff, y'all don't come out for us. Y'all barely wanted to darn go shout out Breonna Taylor name, and she's a biological born woman. So y'all damn sure don't come out for the trans men and the trans women, honey. Hell, a lot of y'all don't even know that trans men exist, honey. Y'all stay darn on focusing on the transgender women, but let's go on and get into it. So the article starts off by saying the violence that affecting Black trans women and Black trans folks is finally getting the attention that it deserves. An organization of Brooklyn March said. West Dakota, a drag queen in Brooklyn was checking in on a fellow drag queen and mentor when they began discussing what they said was a painful reality about the George Floyd protests. Black transgender people are disproportionately the victims of police violence, but attending demonstrations against police brutality can often put them in further danger. Her mentor, a drag queen named Mary Sherry, who is Black, says she had seen silent marches in other states and would have felt safer attending an event like that, West Dakota recalled. So there's your answer, Cynthia. Well, part of it. Because I seen that you had a lot to say over there, too, on your channel, honey. About why we ain't on the front lines for Black Lives Matter. So, okay, there's part of your answer. Also, she had an idea, a rally for Black trans people that would evoke one of the most notable protests in New York history, the Silent Parade, when the NAACP assembled nearly 10,000 people in 1917 wearing white and silently marching down Fifth Avenue to demand an end to violence against Black people. So, this is the largest darn gathering since the Silent Parade, which was 103 years ago. 2 weeks later, West Dakota's idea blossomed into one of the most striking demonstrations that New York has seen since the killing of Floyd, a gathering of thousands of people in a sea of white. Its size and intensity stunned bystanders, participants, and the organizers themselves. Something just sort of clicked for me. West Dakota said, we don't have to wait for that to happen. We can do it ourselves. And I want y'all to pay close attention to the pictures. Shout out to all the white allies that are out there. The Brooklyn Liberation March on Sunday flooded the grounds of Brooklyn Museum and spilled out several blocks in each direction. Thought crowd turnouts for marches are often difficult to determine. Organizers said 15,000 people took part. The police have not released their own estimate, but videos from the scene showed a sea of people stretching several blocks from Grand Army Plaza down the East Parkway, with some eventually making their way to Fort Greene Park. And y'all, my nose is going to start. It's good now, but I got my fans really going today. It's like 80-something degrees in North Carolina, y'all. Let me drink some of my peach water because, ooh. Side note, I can't wait to get out of this house. This one AC vent is not going to do it. And y'all know darn gone we can get up to 100 degrees in North Carolina. Oh, no. I'm not doing it this summer, honey. But back to the commentary. The vast majority of protesters wore masks and safety teams stationed along the route gave out hand sanitizer, but the crowd was so large that 6 feet social distancing was often not possible. Officials have expressed concerns that Floyd protests could lead to the spread of the corona. Though there is no evidence of that so far in New York. Honey, I got a whole commentary to do on that one because with all my family just had another party. And if y'all been following me, this is like the 4th party that these fools had, and not one of them dropped down with the corona yet, honey. Not one of these fools had, and they are full of darn on crack and weed and cigarettes and everything, hypertension, type 3, diabetes, yeah, not type 2, but type 3. And none of these motherfuckers have fell down yet. So it's like, I'm about over it with this Rona. I'm not saying that, let your guard totally down, but I'm saying, well, honey, it's showing that a lot more people can fight this shit off than anything, honey. Because like I said, all these parties that they done been had, not one of these fuckers have dropped down yet. And actually, I wouldn't mind if they did. But that's a whole nother darn gone video, honey. But one speaker at the rally was Melania Brown's sister, Layleen Polanco, a transgender woman who was found dead in 2019 in a cell at Rikers Island. Black Trans Lives Matter. My sister life matter, Brown said in her speech. If one goes down, we all go down, and I'm not going nowhere. Black transgender people not only bear a disproportionate burden of police violence, because the misconception was that that we couldn't compare. Once again, I want y'all to listen to this. The misconception was we couldn't compare our lives to darn on black men being killed because black men were being killed by the police. But little do y'all know that black trans women are often darn on targeted by the police as well. It's just not broadcast. But when it is brought to light, where's the marches for any of us? See, that's why we can make direct comparisons, Cynthia. This is why we can make direct comparisons, Phil. Because we go through the exact same shit too. And we're black as well. But once again, you say why we had to come out with Black Trans Lives Matter. Because once again, just like we wasn't included in All Lives Matter as black folk, obviously we, and then the irony is darn on Black Lives Matter was created by darn on a group of lesbian women. But then y'all would say we darn on hijack something. How the hell we hijack something that we started? And then y'all say where we at on the front line. Hell, we always usually the ones that start the shit off. Once again, y'all talking about Black Lives Matter, but the Black Lives Matter movement was started off by a group of lesbians. And then y'all darn gone came in and made the emphasis on black men so much so and not focusing on all of us because y'all said it don't matter about your religion, your sexuality, your gender identity, but time and time again, that when something happened to us, we don't get no coverage about the shit. And once again, we're the one that started off the damn movement. So once again, we had to come out with another darn on hashtag, several, all Black Lives Matter, and darn on Black Trans Lives Matter. To the point, so those two, you definitely can't darn on erase down. Because when we just said Black Lives Matter and we thought common sense mean that it really meant everybody black, honey, y'all found the way that took us out of that. And then y'all say we be doing the most though. Y'all say we doing the most when we want to highlight our darn on issues about being tagged. Because y'all said, oh well, it's not just limited to your darn on your gender identity and your sexual orientation. They target you first for your blackness. Well, it seems like y'all don't darn gonna be out there for us. So we had to make the emphasis on the black trans lives matter. Because once again, where's all the black people? Because let's scroll back up to the article. Honey, I'm seeing about more white people marching for us than darn on black folk. Except for the fellow black LGBTs. Where is the darn point out the straight black man in the audience. Point out the straight black man in the audience. I'll wait. But time and time again, we risk our lives. The darn gonna be out there marching on behalf of George Floyd and darn gonna Trayvon Martin and everybody else. And y'all attack us, but once again, our sexuality don't mean nothing, right? It don't mean nothing, but we can't even go out and march alongside our darn heterosexual counterparts without a risk of being attacked by our own people. See, this is the bullshit that I'm talking about. But let's move on. But also face high rates of violence and harassment on the street. The American Medical Association said last fall that killings of transgender women of color in the United States amount to an epidemic. 2 more black transgender women nationwide were killed in less than 24 hours while the event was coming together. Dominique Fells, 27, known as Remai, was found with stab wounds in Philadelphia. On June 8th, Rolling Stone reported a day later, Rhea Milton, 25, was found shot multiple times in Liberty Township, Ohio. But once again, we ain't seen hardly any of this on the major news. And what darn on heterosexual person on YouTube that's black that in the conscious community have you heard mention any of these? Matter of fact, go through their whole discovery. What? And matter of fact, I'm going to call out quite a few of y'all, honey, because I'm about tired of just darn on just leaving it up to just saying it vague, honey. We're going to call some names out over here. Cynthia G. Fielder, and you know I say this with love because I follow these people for the most part. I may not follow some of them actively no more for a myriad of reasons. But it's not off of their differences of LGBT. Y'all know I've been following Cynthia since the beginning of her channel. So when I say this, I don't mean to call her out with any malice, honey. We can disagree off of what you think about me personally. Or what you think about, trans people in general. But I'm just calling y'all to task on when it comes to black unity. Why we had to come up with Black Trans Lives Matter. Because once again, Black Lives Matter, we got kicked out of our own darn on shit that we made for all black people. See, y'all say we selfish. That black LGBTs are just thinking about their sexual identity and their gender identity first. But we came out with Black Lives Matter. And then we got booted out our own shit. And then you have people like me, you have people like T.S. Madison, you have people like Savon, you have people like Jasmine, and a numerous other darn black trans folks who have mentioned our heterosexual counterparts. We have mentioned darn Breonna Taylor, we have mentioned Trayvon Martin, and the list of 500 some other people that are black that have been tragically killed due to police brutality over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah, you can go through Nyla's videos, you can go through Taz Exclusives videos, you can go through O'Shea darn on videos, you can go through Phil the Advice Show. Phil, you got 1 million subscribers, and you got several people over there, and with your whole extensive team, it seems like we ain't found not one video that you have actually covered on a black darn on transgender being darn on attacked at the hands of the police. A black transgender being attacked by no fault of their own. Because the running excuse that y'all would say is, oh, we darn on, we tricking people out here. So every darn on black trans person is out here on the whole shit. So you gonna stereotype all black trans folks as darn on streetwalkers. So if I turn up dead, Diva Wan was out there on the whole stroll. Watch what they do. Now, Lord, thank goodness I ain't going nowhere. I ain't even gonna put that up on me, honey. But if I was to fall down to some violence the next day, honey, they'll swear out that I was trying to trick somebody. Now, granted, my titties flatter than motherfucking Lupita Nyong'o. Honey, I ain't in on my hormones yet, honey. I got to get this laser hair removal done first, because y'all know that, the hormones might interfere with the laser treatment because it, makes your skin sensitive. So I'm getting the darn on hair removal first. And then, I got to make a deposit at the bank, for children down the road, then the hormones. So, but even with me darn on not even being no titties, no nothing, honey. Honey, they'll say I tried to trick somebody. As if I look like T.S. Madison, honey. And hell, and then that's another thing we have to talk about. Y'all then say, oh, well, why we always leading with our darn on transgender status and all that? See, it's like we can't win for losing. See, if you have somebody like me who's just cool, calm, collective, who just lives just my life, and I don't emphasize my transgender status, then if something happens to me, y'all will swear out that, oh, I was being overly discreet and I was tricking folks out here, this, that, and the third. Now, granted that, once again, my titties are flatter than darn on Grace Jones. I still got this motherfucking Adam's apple. I just shaved 2 hours ago. But y'all swear I darn on was out here tricking folks. But then you have somebody who is the self-proclaimed big dick bitch, honey, who darn gonna make her fame off of darn gonna her transgender status, who still goes by the TS, honey. And then y'all will say, oh, well, why we always got to mention our transsexuality and all this? Because once again, it seems like if we don't, y'all will always go with the excuse that we somehow trick folks. And even then, honey, like Madison said on her channel, honey, if something happened to her, that y'all will still find a way to say that she was trying to trick somebody. Oh, because she looks unclockable and all this, that, and the third, and she only 5'3", and she has a size 8 shoe, and she don't have no protruding Adam's apple. She could have tricked somebody, even though everybody knows who T.S. Madison is. T.S. Madison has been on mainstream networks such as Fox. She has worked with RuPaul. She has been around Tamar Braxton and Candy. Everybody knows T.S. Madison, honey. Even people in different countries know T.S. Madison as the T.S., honey. But y'all will still find a way to say, oh, she must have been up to something. And this is why we have to say Black Trans Lives Matter. Because once again, time and time again, no matter whether you look like me or you look like T.S. Madison, all the people that I just named, from Nyla, Taz, Cynthia, O'Shea, darn on Robert Perkins, honey, everybody that you can think of. Honey, the only person that I can think of in the conscious community that have mentioned us is darn on China Fox, honey. And the hell, China, you don't even really count because you're a bisexual woman. So the only one who has said something is, once again, one of us. Name me the straight woman. Name me the straight darn gone male up on motherfucking YouTube. The straight black male, the straight black female that's actually said something in regards to us, honey. But I wait. But continuing on though. Then on the Friday before the rally, the Trump administration finalized a regulation that erases protections for transgender patients against discrimination by doctors, hospitals, and insurance companies. See, this is the shit we got to go through with. And yeah, y'all always wondering, oh, well, they darn gonna getting more darn gone rights and shit past them black folks are. Honey, we can't win for motherfucking losing. Honey, we can't even go to our own doctors in peace. Honey, I'm already got to worry about darn gone shots just like the rest of y'all, because our history. We seen what happened with Tuskegee. We seen what happened with the AIDS pandemic, honey. The plant-demic, honey, over in Africa. So we already got to be cautious of this darn gone Rona vaccine that they coming up with. And they talking about that a vaccine might not be viable unless they have enough black darn gone patients to try out. See, they already trying to get us again, honey, on the low. As black people. But best believe, once again, we also got to deal with this. I can't even go get a darn gone checkup, honey. See, y'all, Cynthia, Nyla, darn on Phil, O'Shea, and all y'all. See, y'all can go to the doctor and darn on don't have to worry about getting turned around at the damn door. Y'all don't have to worry about getting turned around. Honey, let one of us come up in that bitch. Oh, and your doctor's Christian, even though you took a medical oath to darn on not do no harm to nobody, and you supposed to serve and not judge. But Donald Trump is trying to make it where you can circumvent around that and darn gonna make it legal for discrimination by doctors, hospitals, and health insurances. So it's like, I can't get insured. And once again, I ain't talking about for cosmetic purposes, because once again, you got to pay for that anyways. So before y'all thinking, oh, that means you can't darn gonna get your titties and shit on insurance. You can't get gender reassignment on insurance. No, this also can mean, like, if I was to go to the hospital for a serious, such as my Crohn's disease, and you know, we got old Christian darn gone Muslim doctor who feels like they don't want to see me because just the sight of me is an abomination, honey. They can darn gonna turn me around, honey, at the door. So it's not as simple as, oh, you can just go find another doctor. Once again, the nearest hospital to me is all under the same umbrella. So if I go to the next hospital, guess what? They all under the same umbrella. I would have to go to a different city to go to another totally different franchise hospital. So if all my hospitals share this similar mindset of bigotry, and they are legally allowed to do that, that can possibly put me in a dangerous situation if I darn gonna experience like a severe chronic flare-up. Or let's say if I come in contact with some cherries and I have a severe reaction, and the ambulance come, and then, oh Lord, now they darn gonna feel some type of way about my darn gonna gender identity, honey. They're gonna leave me there to die? So how far is we gonna take this shit? See, this is what we have to worry about, that y'all as heterosexual black people don't have to deal with. Heterosexual gender assigned black people. See, because I'm a heterosexual person myself. I'm strictly D. But my thing is this. To my people in the black community who are blessed to be born with your darn gone parts, and my females, my men. See, this is what y'all don't have to deal with. But when it comes to us as transgender folks, due to y'all darn on bigotry in the Bible, this is what we have to deal with. And I know y'all gonna say some slick shit talking about, oh well, we ain't in Congress dominantly passing the darn on laws and shit. And that might be true to a certain extent. But it's like, well, hell, in addition to us dealing with this, we shouldn't be dealing with the violence which a majority of y'all is darn gonna putting upon us. Did y'all just miss the part where I said we couldn't even go to our own rallies in protest of darn gone George Floyd death because black folks were darn on attacking us in the street as well? And once again, this is broad daylight. This is during a protest, so you can't do that bullshit excuse of that we was trying to pick somebody up in the darn on bar. It was late at night. They really couldn't clock your teeth. Bitch, this is broad daylight. We darn on down here with Black Lives Matter shirts on. Do it look like we trying to darn on do a pickup call on the low, honey? But once again, the number one go-to excuse when a black transgender woman dies is, oh, we all somehow whores and prostitutes, though. Just like when a white person kills us, the go-to excuse is, oh, we all inherently violent. You know, they was from a bad neighborhood. Oh, they had a record. They committed the darn on petty theft 20-some years ago, and somehow that's relevant to the case of now why I had to use extra force, even though you didn't know anything about their darn on past history prior to attacking them. But you just assume that they black from the hood, they got something on their record where you can act accordingly. See, just like they do stereotypes on us, y'all turn around and darn gonna put 40 stereotypes on black trans people. So we get it twice over. So we got the white folks darn gonna looking at us the same way, and darn gonna thinking, oh, bitch from the hood, bitch got a record from 20-some years ago, it's still relevant today. And then we got to turn around and darn gonna deal with all this extra bullshit from our own people. But the article goes on to say Eli Cruz, director of communications for the New York City Anti-Violence Project, who helped organize the march, said he was amazed at how many people showed up for the demonstration. He recalled that when he organized the rally after Polanco's death, about 600 or 700 people attended. And then there goes our Afro-Latina sister right there. Once again, there goes our white allies with the Black Lives Matter. I don't see not one black darn on macho heterosexual man in sight yet, though. The violence that affecting black trans women and black trans folks is finally getting the attention that it deserves, Cruz said after the phone call that inspired the idea of the march. West Dakota, who had little experience organizing protests, turned to friends, including Fran Tirado, who until recently produced Netflix content for LGBTQ audiences. Those friends in turn reached out to their own networks. Ultimately, Tirado said over 150 people joined the organization team, many of them non-black queer people of color who volunteer work under the direction of black transgender-led organizations like the Okra Project and the Marshall P. Johnson Institute. Y'all remember Marshall P. Johnson? Stonewall riots? For people who have selective memory, because once again, y'all say when was we ever out there for y'all? The question that was posed, honey, the question that was posed was during civil rights and shit that we wasn't around either, even though Martin Luther King's right hand man was a proud gay man, honey. And then folks are even going as far as to say that darn going Malcolm X. Now, I got to fact check this one, honey, but they saying Malcolm X was darn going playing on both sides of the team. But we don't want to have that conversation just yet. Now, I ain't fact checked Malcolm X, but it's confirmed that Martin Luther King's right-hand man that was instrumental in starting off the civil rights movement was a proud out gay black man. So we've been doing this shit all the time. But once again, y'all always say we ain't nowhere to be found though, because just like they try to erase the other people that they couldn't erase, just like they erased some of our notable black people out of history, honey, y'all tried to erase us. So once again, we get it twice over. We have the white man trying to erase us, and then we have our own black people erase us, because all these darn on black historians on YouTube, honey, that dedicate that whenever they ain't in no beef, honey. Whenever y'all ain't going back and forth doing beef videos, you over here darn on reciting all the history. And you know who you are, Mr. Goat. But I don't never hear you mention about any of the darn on black LGBTs who played an instrumental part in darn on the civil rights movement. I'm just saying. And maybe it was hard for you to pick it out because once again, it was erased from the history, honey. It was erased from the history, so maybe you couldn't learn, maybe even your scholar ass couldn't even find it. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. But like I said, we already dealing with our history trying to be erased 2 times over. We got to deal with police brutality. And then we got to deal with the violence from our own people. And then y'all want to go, and then to add insult to injury, kick us while we down, honey, then y'all want to be up on YouTube and have the audacity to say we don't do shit. But we the ones that always darn gonna pop off and start the damn shit. Let it make damn sense. But once again, it goes further to say after that, West Dakota asked Muhammad Faiz, an illustrator from Queens, to create the Riley shared poster. Brooklyn Liberation and Action for Black Trans Lives. Faiez's distinctive style has helped popularize Poppy Juice, a Brooklyn art collective for queer and trans people of color that throws popular parties. Now I would have blended that hair in a little bit more, honey. Now once again, I need to get my ass out there to help us look fashionable on the front lines as well, honey. But shout out to our 4C sister, honey. You rocking this darn on good fluffy twist, honey. Come on, black sister. And see, we out there with our darn on protective gear and stuff on. See, we ain't dumb like the other folks out there just darn on thinking you immune from the darn on Rona, honey. So not only are we on the front lines, but we still practicing protection either. Because notice that these two beautiful sisters right here. Now, once again, we're going to get this darn on hair together with our sister over here. We going to get her a deep shadow root that blends in with this lovely darn on icy platinum right here. But honey, look at us. We still practicing darn on precautions not to spread the Rona, in addition to darn on marching for our darn on rights. But y'all say we don't be nowhere though. Okay. Raquel Reales, a black transgender writer and activist who spoke at the rally called the organizing effort a new grander version of the power of community that queer and trans people of color have always had. Once again, a black transgender writer. See, we actually have professions out here too. We actually are telling our own histories because we can't depend on our heterosexual counterparts to really showcase our darn on stories, such as the largest darn on person on YouTube with a black audience Phil. See, out of the 5 years that you been doing your shit, we ain't seen you not darn on highlight one of our darn on cases, but we all supposed to be in this together. We all in this together. I sure fuck can't tell. Because 5 years, I ain't seen you not highlight one darn on injustice done to a darn on black LGBT person. But we all supposed to be equal and supposed to be in this together though. See, this is why we have to have our own jobs and our own statuses to highlight our history, even in the midst of us as black people. Because we know our own black folks is not even here for us, but we still here for all our black folks at the end of the day. Even to our darn on detriment. But y'all say we darn on weak and we darn on hiding in the shadows and shit. That's the little slick comments that y'all make about us though. But we out here being writers, not prostitutes. We out here being darn on medical estheticians, not prostitutes. We out here got darn on degrees in business with a concentration in motherfucking marketing, not prostitutes. No shade to my girls who had to do a little something strange for a piece of change, because not only are we discriminated against for being black from white jobs, but we also discriminated against based off our gender identity and sexual orientation from the black jobs, especially in the deep Bible Belt South. So I'm not even faulting my darn on black women who have to be out there on the whole stroll, because 9 times out of 10, John, Paul, and Bob denied them. But guess what? Quita, Day Day, and Quan denied them a job too, based off their sexual orientation and gender identity. So once again, or gender identity. So once again, we get the darn on discrimination 2 times over. But we still out here on the front lines, fighting for black liberation. And once again, this does not apply to all my, black people, because, we do have some heterosexual, I do believe these are some heterosexual black women out here as well. So when I'm talking about black women, I'm talking about the ones who like to be on YouTube. And then once again, this ain't just restricted to Cynthia. This just ain't restricted to Nyla. This ain't restricted to, I ain't even gonna bring that Christian bitch up, honey. Now, I really can't do her. And I ain't even gonna, honey, I ain't even really gonna bring up her name, because this will turn into a roasting session. We gonna leave Christian bitch where she at. This ain't, just restricted to Renaissance woman. And no, that's not who I'm talking about either. But yeah, our black men specifically. Where's the heterosexual? Once again, where's the heterosexual black man in the audience? I don't see him. Ready or not, here I come. I'm trying to find you. Ready or not, here I come. I'm trying to find you. Honey, I can't find him. It's like, where's Waldo, honey? Where's the darn on strong black men marching on the front lines for Black Lives Matter? Because once again, Phil, I thought we was all in this together. We all in this together. We all in this together. I sure can't tell. Phil, where's you at on the front line, boo-boo? Where's all them darn media people that you be having over there on the front line, boo-boo? But meanwhile, let something happen to you tomorrow, I still be out there on the front line for you, though. See, that's the difference. See, all these people that I done called out, let something happen to them. You will have somebody like me writing up the story. You have somebody like me also running my mouth, trying to get laws passed, like I'm doing right now in the state of North Carolina. You have people like me out there marching, like my beautiful sister Hope. Let me get her book real quick. I'm going to do a little plug, honey. Shout out to my sister Hope Giselle, honey. A black transgender woman who out there on the front line, not just for our fellow black trans sisters, but for our heterosexual darn people as well. I can't wait to darn read this book. I ain't had time to read your book yet, sis. I just got it the other day along with another beautiful black sister, Candace Holyfield. Shout out to the 6-figure spy chick on Instagram. But yeah, we be out there on the front line. See, my black sis, she be out there on the front line. And let something happen to one of y'all tomorrow, she be out there for y'all. But let something happen to her, y'all will say, oh, see, she looks unclockable, honey. She was trying to fool the girls, honey. That's what y'all would say. She was trying to fool the darn trade. But let's move on. So that's it for that article. Ooh, see, I ain't even think this video was gonna be, I thought this was gonna be a half-hour video, but y'all know how I like to run my mouth, honey, especially when I get passionate. We got to go into the second one. Let me get my drink, honey. And guess what? My 23andMe results came today. I can already tell, due to the other videos I got to do, and along with how long this one is, honey, I'm gonna have to do that one tomorrow, honey. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Because now this one on them, I should have known based off this subject. And it wasn't even predicted that I was going to call out the folks that I had to. Y'all know I do these videos with no notes and stuff half the time. Unless it's something like politics. Like politics, I got to hit on a lot of specific points and quotes and stuff. That's about the only time where y'all see me have the notepad and stuff out. But I like to go off the dome. So it's like, this is why the videos tend to be like they are. Because it's like, Diva Juan likes to darn speak passionate right off the spur of the moment. I don't like to be rehearsed like some folks. No shade to people like Phil who have to have their stuff down. Especially since you're doing it in a structured, anchor style. I don't fault my folks that have their notes and they slideshows and stuff. Through their Apple devices where every 7 seconds they got a new clip streamline, honey. Shout out to all the people who are technologically savvy like that. But Diva Juan likes to do it this way, y'all. So y'all bear with Diva. So here's the other article. Thousands march in Boston for black transgender lives. Once again, there goes darn Pappy and that's a light-skinned black man right there. I see them kinks, honey. I was about to say Pappy, honey, but he's actually darn daddy, honey. That for y'all that believes in that darn term. I don't really like the term daddy. I think that's a little bit incestuous if you ask me, honey. But there goes good old stub. That might be a little bit dated term, honey. But I like to say stub muffin back here, honey. Once again, we got a beautiful sister giving Latrice royalties, honey, but I don't see the a macho man, honey. I ain't seen him yet. Ready or not, here I come. I'm trying to find you. Honey, I see a couple of my sisters back there, but I don't see none of the men yet, honey. A day after the Trump administration rolled back healthcare protections for transgender people, a day after the U.S. queer community paused to recognize the 49 people killed in the Post nightclub shooting 4 years ago, and just days after the 2 transgender women were murdered in the U.S., thousands gathered in Franklin Park for the trans resistance vigil in March Saturday. This is not a pride. Unfortunately, we're not celebrating happy things. said Chastity Bowick, executive director of the Transgender Emergency Fund of Massachusetts. See, once again, we have to have our own Pacific darn funds, because once again, we can't go to our heterosexual black funds. For y'all that wonder why we had to do why we got to stay vocal. Because once again, this is why we will always be on the darn on TV. This is why we are so much in your face, because we had to deal with the issues twice as over. But continuing on, it's time to put your fighting face on, your fighting shoes on, and get ready to march. Like we always been doing. We've been marching over there with Martin Luther King. And hell, we was back there in slavery times too, honey. Pride may be canceled because of COVID, but there's a major turnout for the trans resistance vigil and march honoring the legacy of Stonewall in Boston today. And like I told you, the nose, it sniffles every time around this 40-minute mark, honey. Another reason why I can't wait to get out this darn house, honey. The Sprite Pride festivities being canceled this year because of the COVID. Scores of people gathered at the park in Jamaica Plain to honor black trans folks who started the Stonewall riots 51 years ago, and to recognize the challenges black trans women still face, almost all wearing masks. Once again, we still out here on this protection, and the ones who not, see, we maintaining social distancing and everything. So we still out here darn on protecting ourselves while also marching for our rights. Once again, Phil, I'm still trying to search for some of your folks, honey. Ready or not, here I come. We're gonna find you. Honey, the only darn black person they probably put down there was Don Lemon. Don Lemon, Don Lemon. The child, Don Lemon is the only black man that was probably down there. Darn showcasing our darn struggles. The struggles that were told. The struggles that were told. Yeah, I know this is about as bad as my fucked up singing, y'all. I know y'all saying, I wish this bitch would shut the fuck up. Every time she get up on here, she want to darn holler like she darn Juicy Smollett, honey. Well, y'all gonna get this all toned off pitch motherfucking raspy country Bama vocals today, baby. Cause honey, you got to laugh to keep from crying with this bullshit. We got to persevere and not let them see a darn bitch down, honey. Like Monique said, you can't keep a good bitch down. You tried your best, honey. Both the white side and my fellow black people. But a diva's gonna keep on motherfucking strutting. And like Beyonce said, honey, no passengers on my motherfucking plane, bitch. We will sell this shit by our damn selves and still darn gonna help sell our people up out of here, if we have to. Now me, I'm about to the point where we can leave some of them off the dang on pasture, but see, we darn on archeristic to a darn on fault at times. Another video for another day though. But the name Marsha P. Johnson, credited for being instrumental in the fight for queer liberation, permanent through the Virgil and the March. Trey Andre Valentine, a black Trinidadian trans man who led the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition, mentioned Johnson several times when he addressed the crowd. Once again, transgender man, which means gender assigned female at birth to male. Because once again, y'all don't even know about the trans men that exist. Y'all be thinking the trans man is me, honey. Because y'all like to call us still men. But this is a trans man, which was mean born with breasts, born with the vajayjay, honey. And switched it, zip it, reversed it to get pecs and the darn pain, honey. If that person desired to do that. Because not all of us desire to go down with the bottom stair. Because once again, what's downstairs is really none of your concern, right? Although half the time y'all still be darn wanting to talk about our downstairs stuff, honey. Y'all talk about our downstairs stuff more than we do, honey. But for y'all that don't care about what's supposed to be going on with us, y'all stay sitting on live streams 2, 3, 4, 5 hours making dedicated darn commentary about us. Where's, like I said numerous times before, show me the darn on panel of darn on LGBT folks talking about straight people for hours and hours and hours upon end. I wait. Because once again, for something, if you're, why dwell in something that you can't stand? Like, if I can't stand all the negativity, why am I going to darn gonna relish and dwell in it? Now, we got to darn gonna speak on it and highlight these issues, especially with marching for our rights. But I'm talking about as far as on YouTube, just having personal gossip talk and talking about the shit other than a way of, you know, presenting points and policies that we can push before Congress to get our rights, together. To get our rights darn gone, what's the word I'm looking for? To get our rights put into law. To get our rights on the books. Why I got time? Why am I going to waste time arguing with a bitch who don't give a fuck about me? I never understood that shit. Like, these beefs and shit on YouTube, y'all be making darn gone. And, you know, no shade, because some of them are good people and all. But, honey, I would never understand y'all with these beef videos, 6, 7, 8 hours. And then, like I said, y'all make the ones on us, the LGBT, the black LGBTQ community. But it's like, honey, I ain't got not nail to bit of time to waste on darn on dragging a darn on a black Christian bitch, honey. I don't. Like I said, that's why I won't mention that particular one, honey, that falls under the same camp of people. Because once again, I ain't even going to waste my time on that wasted piece of darn on space. Because like I said, some of y'all can really be gone off the pasture, honey. Now, some of y'all I will march for. Some of y'all, I'll just be looking out my window like this. Sucks to be you right now. Because that's how y'all do us, honey. Sometimes for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I know I'm going to get a thumbs down for hell. There's one darn on bitch up on my channel that's been darn on thumbing down all my videos. Hell, I can come out with the cure for motherfucking cancer, and y'all bitches are still find a way to thumbs that down. And I know who the person is. You didn't think I know. I know. I mean, goddamn, bitch, you gonna thumbs down every motherfucking video, man. Come on, honey. You thumbs down every damn video, goddamn. Like I said, for y'all to act like y'all don't care about us, honey, you stay lurking on the darn on page just to thumbs the motherfucker down. The same motherfucking person. But, honey, there's a lot of shit that y'all say about me, honey. There's a lot of shit that Cynthia and not me personally, but you know, me as a black LGBT person. There's a lot of shit that y'all said fucked up about me. And what I do is I just tune the video out. I just darn gonna say, okay, on to the next, on to the next. Honey, I click off. I say, okay, darn gonna Cynthia's on this shit today. Let me click the fuck off. Nyla's on this shit today. Let me click the fuck off. Taz is on this shit today. Let me click the fuck off. Honey, I ain't got time to be going a church. I ain't about to do too much of that. Now, we can have a conversation. We can have a back and forth to a certain extent. Like, we can have a debate. But I'll be damned if I'm going to be up in your darn platform during a whole roasting session back and forth. And it ain't going to be no resolution to the shit. I don't know. I ain't got time to be wasting my time like that. Like I said, y'all kill me, honey. Y'all be up on these darn on just typing and shit away. Y'all going back and forth with these 8, 9, 10 hour videos. ABC, a bitch can't, honey. Y'all talk about the ABCDEFG community, but one thing for certain, two things for sure. ABC, honey, a bitch can't. A bitch can't darn going waste my darn on dendrites nor energy. ABCDE on this fuck shit. ABCDEF, honey. The whole alphabet community, honey, we ain't wasting our time going back and forth with no darn on low vibrational dang on energy. I'm moving on, honey. Yeah, y'all gonna get a lot of darn on segues throughout these articles, honey. If y'all couldn't tell now, you already know. You already know. Shout out to the darn on queen, the darn on bounce music down in New Orleans. Big Frida, the queen diva, best of believer. Honey, we out here darn on inventing the music and stuff too that y'all darn on don't want to highlight that we darn on do, honey. Once again, just like they tried to take the darn on blues and funks and stuff off the black community in general, honey, y'all don't be wanting to cite darn on Big Freedia the Queen Diva. Half the time, y'all use darn on Big Freedia voice. Big Freedia's good for you, Drake, honey. Big Freedia is good to be on y'all darn on rap songs and shit, but y'all don't want to bring a bitch to get her darn on, y'all don't want her darn on feature. Y'all use her background vocals. Just like they used to steal for black women back in the day and black men back in the day, and they'll put the darn on vocals on a white person they was trying to push up. Honey, y'all do the same thing to us as black LGBT folks in our community. That's why I say we get it twice over. Because best believe darn on Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti, woo! Tutti Frutti, honey. Tutti Frutti, woo! Honey, he was not only having his record stole from the darn on white folks, honey, but honey, best believe there was a black folk or two that was also sampling the sound. It was not citing the sources. Now, Prince actually cited the source that the protege was none other than darn going Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti, woo! But honey, it was a couple black folks that was darn going taking some of the sample of that sound, honey. And it was not darn gonna giving credit to the darn on architect of rock and roll. And then years later, you got Big Freedia the Queen Diva, best to believer, honey. Y'all using her darn on voice and shit, but don't want the darn on highlight her. So once again, not only do we have to worry about the white folks stealing our darn on shit, but then when black LGBT folks create some shit, whether it be music or inventions or darn gonna help aid in the leading of the civil rights movement, honey, time and time again, we darn gonna get the shit darn gonna stolen from us by our fellow people, and they claim that, oh, it was just Martin Luther King that just did it by himself. All by myself, I had a dream. It came to me in a dream one night, honey. Honey, he was darn on the Biggie before Biggie was Biggie, baby. It came to you in a dream, or was it with the right-hand man that you told he had to sit down because he was too bad about it? He was the one that was about that, like, see, while Martin Luther King was over there practicing integrationists because he was over on the, why, on the low, when that midnight came around, he was over there at Patty's house. He was over there getting a little bit of Patty pie. And I ain't talking about our good girl Patty who can shatter vocals with her darn on voice, honey. I ain't talking about Patty LaBelle. I'm talking about Miss Patty Pat, Miss Mary Matt. See, that was Martin Luther King. No shade, because I don't mind my interracial folks, honey. See, I ain't shaming my interracial folks. But my thing is this, though. Y'all had all this shit to say to us and erase our history at the same time. Because once again, half of y'all don't even know the right hand man to motherfucking Martin Luther King. And I'm not saying his name on purpose, just so y'all can go ahead and darn on Google search and find out yourselves. Stay tuned for part 2. I have the name for you. But moving on. If it weren't my job to be at Pride, I wouldn't go, he said. A lot of times when they talk about black and brown people, it's just lip service. They never put communities, groups, or organizations first in the march. It's always the corporations first. Bank of America, Liberty Mutual. If you're having the money, you get put in front. And it isn't that a theme throughout the history of this country. Valentine said he and other organizers were floored by the big turnout, especially during a global health crisis, but he said he wasn't completely surprised. Even before the pandemic, we were dying. Even before the pandemic, police were brutalizing us, dehumanizing us, Valentine said. Pandemic or not, we're going to show up. After Virgil and Raleigh and Franklin Park, the thousands marched to the Boston Police Department, Roxborough Station. On the way there, people waved blue, pink, white, transgender pride flags, rainbow pride flags, and chanted, "Fuck the police," and "Fuck the police." And Black Trans Healthcare Matters. And Black Lives Matter. Once again, there go our seat of beautiful white allies, honey. Both the old and the young. I see an old silver fox back here, honey. I see our young, luscious white sisters and stuff right there. That's why I say I don't mind my folks who darn gonna swirl, because hell, we got quite a few allies, honey. Got quite a few allies. I ain't seen the black darn on Macho Man yet. Macho Man. I want to be a macho man. Honey, I ain't seen not nail one of them yet, honey. I ain't seen not nail one of them yet, honey. But you'll see my queen behind down there at your march, though. Because once again, Black Lives Matter. All Black Lives Matter. See, this is why we had to put the emphasis, Phil, on all Black Lives Matter. Because once again, you'll see my flaming ass down near the march for somebody like you. But we don't see the Macho Man for us, and we dealing with the same shit. See, I ain't even talking about... See, not even the injustices done upon me because of my identity. But if I was attacked because of my blackness, let's say if I was getting chased down the street by the Klan, honey, one of y'all silly macho men, honey, would say, oh, you know them gay folks and them trans folks, they like to swirl, honey. Maybe he, she, we, honey, y'all, because y'all think all of us is like darn on Flame and Rose darn on crazy ass, honey. How much I wish we can darn on give Flame to y'all, honey. But y'all would say some funky shit like, oh, well, maybe she was trying to get a darn on threesome with the Klan, and the Klan darn on was saying they ain't on that bullshit. Y'all will find a way to justify it. The darn on Klan strung me up in the tree, honey. See, y'all are so complicit with y'all homophobia and transphobia that if the Klan was chasing me down the street and y'all had a gun on y'all person, honey, y'all wouldn't clock that gun in defense of me not one time, honey. Y'all are darn gonna just look. Y'all are just looking darn on walk on by. Walk on. Honey, y'all play darn on Dionne Warwick's darn on sorrowful darn on song and keep it darn on pushing down the street as I'm darn on being chased by the Klan, honey. That's how some of y'all do. Hell, we'll have one of my white sisters come out and darn gonna defend me quicker than some of my black folks. See, that's why I don't be on that darn on anti-white shit. See, and that's why I would never will. Because, honey, history darn on shows that, honey, it'll be the darn on white sister that or the white brother that might come out faster than some of my darn on black folks do. The history darn on tells it. See, she ain't afraid to have the darn on sign up. I'm just waiting for the black straight man to. Since we all in this together, Phil. And I'm specifically calling your ass out. Mr. 1.15 million subscribers on your platform spreading darn on mistruths and straight up lies. Now, I can let all the other people slide to a certain shit, but I'm going to stay on Phil's darn on ass, honey. Hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have to go. And some of these darn on prejudiced black people is going to have to get their shit together too. See, we should add that on to that as well. Cause honey, I ain't going to darn on keep darn on overlooking this shit from the likes of people like you, honey. Cause y'all voice is just as dangerous on these darn on YouTube platforms saying that we ain't darn on doing nothing. But honey, come to find out, we the ones always on the motherfucking front line starting the shit up. For our black folks, in addition to our own shit. In the midst of our darn on healthcare rights and stuff being darn on possibly, actually is being chipped away, we still out here marching for black people in general. See, we can be multifaceted. See, heterosexual black people act like they can't be multifaceted, that they got to strictly be black. All things black, blackity, blackity, black. Honey, let me darn on, pull up the Instagram song real quick, honey. Let me go ahead and pull this up for y'all real quick. I'm going to be on my Vicky Dilla with my long nails typing, honey. Shout out to darn on Vicky, honey. See, y'all be on that biggity, black, because I'm black, and I'm black, I'm black, and I'm black. But when it comes to the trans lives, y'all ain't about that. Because we don't see y'all not nail time, honey. Not nail motherfucking time. Not nail time. Once again, here comes more of our white allies, though. Like I said, honey, it'd be Paul. It would be darn on Bob. It would be Dylan. that are darn gonna come out for me before darn gonna Day, Quan, or darn gonna Jamal. Except for, Jamal that might play for the team, honey. Atnavon with the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition energized the crowd, talking through a bullhorn, referring to the wooden batons cop brought out as little sticks. And not the ones between their legs, but the ones that they carry. You all need to do a better job at protecting and serving our community, she said to police standing silent in front of the station. Then her voice got quieter and the crowd hushed. She turned to address the protesters. You cannot say, here we go. You cannot say all Black Lives Matter and to only talk about the cisgender black heterosexual men, Vaughn said to applause. It's impossible to walk around here and want justice for black lives, but not want justice for all black lives. And then that's the end of that. Just at the right of the hour, y'all. But see, this is why we have to now come up with darn subsets of our darn own hashtags that black LGBT folks created. Because once again, we thought that Black Lives Matter naturally meant all of us. That we was all in this together. We all in this together. But it seems like we have to fight with our darn fellow black folks while also having to fight against the darn white supremacy as well. But shout out to our darn white sisters. And shout out to our Latina sisters and brothers and Asians and Native Americans that were out there. Because y'all say where they at is stuff. See, all these black folks that I named earlier be like, well, where's the Asian folks at? Where's the darn Hispanic folks at? But if y'all, and I'm going to do a whole nother video on North Carolina news, where we had hundreds of white folks and natives. Excuse me, y'all, I got to blow my nose real quick. Woo. Yeah, let me get ready to get my vitamin D for the day and get to this darn stove. I swear it must be some moldy stuff in this darn. Another reason I can't wait to get out this darn treachery house, honey. But like I was saying though, where was I at? I done lost my train of thought, y'all. But yeah, with the Black Lives Matter though, we have our Native Americans, our Asians. That's where I was at, and stuff out there. And I'm going to do a whole nother video for the ones who has shit to say about, well, we need to be focusing on black only. But then y'all want everybody else to come out for you though. Y'all say that y'all don't stand up for what goes on for Hispanics, what goes on against the Asian community, what goes on against the Native American community. Some of y'all shitting on reparations for natives because they ain't gave it to us yet. And once again, there's a way to address reparations for black folks without having to shit on the all the reparations that the Native Americans are owed, because they are still owed. And I can say that without having to deviate from my blackness and recognizing that black people, we ain't got our reparations yet. Yeah, natives got some reparations, but it's like, you give it to them and you take it away. You give it and take it away. You give it and take it away. Oh, you push them over here because now you want to put a darn pipeline on their precious lands. You want to keep their darn black hills and stuff away from them. So they go through a lot of darn give and take, give and take, and give and take. Oh, you can have a little bit of this and that on your own country land. You got to be designated to darn tribal areas in a country where it's supposed to be all yours. And we talk about we ain't had a full black president yet out of darn 45 presidents, but we ain't had not even a half darn Native American ever in darn office. So sometimes you got to think about it from other darn people's plight if you want them to see your darn struggle as well. You can't darn be totally blinded and on your darn issues and want somebody else to come out for yours. And you can be multifaceted and darn going call out the injustices done upon other people, and while also still being focusing on your darn own plights as well. And in turn, those people will come out for you. But when y'all sit y'all asses up on these YouTube streets and darn gonna say and make these generalizations against all Asian folks, all Native folks, and all Hispanic folks, you can see why some of them don't darn gonna turn out for the ones like you. But they will come out for the ones like myself. And it's not because I'm a black trans woman either. But it's because I'm somebody who generally is archilistic for the darn on equality for everybody. All black people. Even the ones who darn on are still darn on holding on to that Bible. Like the bitch that will not be named up on this motherfucker, honey. And she ain't done nothing to me personally. But that darn on dangerous rhetoric that she spreads over there on that channel with that water bug looking friend of hers. And the people that I called out in this video, y'all know who I'm talking about. And y'all can darn on send this to her if y'all want to. Honey, let's have a discussion. Her and that darn on water bug friend of hers over there justifying darn on putting us on like all this fucked up shit. See, this is the shit that we have to deal with in addition to dealing with white supremacy. Our own people darn on hugging on to that Bible. And what happened to thou not, judge not thou unless thee want to be judged. Don't throw stones unless you want stone back at your house. You want to talk about what we doing is wrong and all this, that, and third, passing judgment and saying that we should go through conversion. You say slick shit talking about promoting conversion therapy, that we should be all on an island by ourselves with a gated fence that is electrical and all of that. Now, what you trying to allude to with that? With no way to get off the island. What you trying to allude to that, bitch, honey? What you trying to say, honey? That you don't mind us being killed off? And then y'all sit up on panels and shit. And I remember one, I never forget this one. Phil, you joking about what darn on Africans do to gay people who are in a hotel room doing whatever they want to do. Once again, two consenting adults. You judging about what would happen if there is so much as cotton. You laughing. So you laughing at the thought of gay people being stoned to get death by engaging in consensual sex. See, this the fucked up shit that we have to deal with from our own people. And I dare for you to call me a motherfucking lie. I dare for you to call me a lie. Like I said, I've been following some of y'all from the very beginning. I don't miss shit. And like I said, that's your darn on very inflammatory opinions and statements, and you have the right to say it. So that's why I don't never, because once again, I don't have to like it. I don't comment. I comment on the videos that I love from y'all. But when it comes to that stupid shit, I darn gonna walk on by too. Because I know we dealing with something way bigger than the infighting between all of us. Between the differences between our, y'all still wanting to hold on to the Bible, or some of y'all want to hold on to different versions of it, such as the Quran. Or, y'all Jehovah Witnesses. But it's all under the same umbrella, baby. Y'all following everything but the darn on origin, which actually steals some black people, but y'all woke, honey. I hear y'all mentioning everything, Hebrew Israelites come somewhat close up until they want to say that they not black, that they Native American, all this shit. But I don't not hear not near one of y'all reciting Kemetic darn on scriptures, honey. Y'all are cite everything but the darn on undiluted darn on original version of which all of it stems from, which was from darn on Kemetic scriptures in darn on Africa. But you woke though. But once again, we can disagree. You can be Christian, you can be Jehovah Witness and all that. But once again, I'm trying to figure out why you got to be on your channel though, laughing about gay people being stoned. I'm trying to figure out if you just generally don't fuck with us, okay. But why you got to go a step further and darn gonna laugh about gay people being stoned. Why you laughing about us being stoned? I just don't get that. And then darn gonna low key darn gonna talk about conversion therapy is not bad necessarily for us. Where they putting down poisonous drinks and they darn gonna harassing us and, you know, calling us all types of names as children, kicking us out the house at 14, 15 years old, and then you wonder why darn gonna certain folks have to darn gonna turn to prostitution. And then if they get killed, all of a sudden, oh well, you know, she was out there on the whole stroll. She was tricking folks, even though most of y'all are going after the pre-op darn on transgender women. Like, y'all going after T.S. Madison. Let's stop acting like y'all going after a person who done had they darn, cause y'all will create this false narrative like, oh, you need to tell somebody that you was once a man. As if the motherfucker darn on fucking with a post-op transgender woman who has a vagina. All the transgender women who getting killed still had the magic stick downstairs. It ain't been not one case where the transgender woman had a vagina. So miss me with the bullshit of, oh, they didn't know. So they got to the bedroom, panties were slid to the side, and you still didn't see darn gone dick and balls? Cause once again, all the darn gone transgender women I keep seeing were not post-op. They had the top, but they did not have the bottom. So once again, miss me with the bullshit of, oh, you didn't know. And then the other half that are getting killed were not even in the line of darn on prostitution. Hell, we can't even go to the store. We accidentally get in a car accident, and the next thing you know, 30 darn on men are jumping on one trans woman. 30 men are jumping on one trans woman, and that actually became nationwide news. And even when we do get our darn on stories nationwide, which is very rare, like Ayanna Dior, that was one that became nationwide news. Honey, I ain't heard not near one of y'all mention her yet. Now, I can see why some of y'all might have overlooked the other ones. Because y'all can say it don't never make the news and stuff like that. But yeah, Ayanna became nationwide news. Phil, I ain't heard not a peep from you. Taz, I ain't heard a peep from you. Nile, I ain't heard a peep from you. Cynthia, I ain't heard a peep from you. But guess what? You have people like me. You have people like T.S. Madison. And plenty of others who are still mentioning Trayvon, Sandra Bland. And hell, even after hearing all the darn on shit Sandra Bland had to say about us, guess what? We still will say what happened to Sandra Bland was fucked up. But honey, let the roles be reversed. Will Sandra Bland be there for us, even though we know what she was darn on? She was on some of the same shit that some of y'all was on. Let's go ahead and have a discussion. Let's talk about it like Tone Talks would say. And then darn gone, Miss darn gone, Abinus Frog, honey. Miss Abinus Frog, Irene, Yvette Carnell. Lord, I always confuse your name with that other bitch that I said I would not name up on here. But what's her name? Yvette Carnell. I want to say that's her name. Yeah, Yvette. Girl. I think I'm going to have to do a whole video on you, honey. It's like, how is you a whole lesbian out here? And girl, you a full butch lesbian. Not bulldogging, honey. But bullfrogging, honey. Girl. With them eyes like you got Graves' disease and you don't. You ain't darn on Wendy. You ain't Missy Elliott. And you damn sure don't got near a bit of that darn on talent, honey. So. But you over there, Miss Adolphs, want to talk shit about us as well. Girl. I once again, I swear you just can't make this shit up. It's like if we already wasn't dealing with enough of us, enough of our black people darn gonna turn against us, you want to darn gonna be over there talking shit about us as well, and that like you ain't, if something that wasn't to happen to you, that your ass will be dismissed because half of them don't fuck with the ADOS movement like that no damn way. And like I said, you a whole darn on amnesty fraud looking darn on a bullfrog bitch, honey. Tongue licking a darn on white woman. You over there married, and once again, I don't have no problem with interracial darn on unions. But the ones that you darn on caping for, honey, they done already dismissed you just off of the premise of that alone, because not only are you a lesbian and a butch lesbian, see, they will have a little bit more fantasy if you looked like what you used to look like back in the day when your hair was pressed out and you was more of the feminine persuasion. But since you are more butch, honey, oh, they already about cast you out on that. But then you had the audacity to be butch and be like Raven Simone and get you a whole white wife, honey. Oh no, that's really too much, honey. You really doing too much. Even though they still wouldn't fuck with you if you would have got somebody black like darn on. Hell, you could have got Viola Davis, honey. You could have got Miss Annalise Keaton, honey, and they still would have had something to say. But honey, you got your old white woman, honey. And you want to be over there and had a whole, and I ain't even seen your video. Now I'm gonna make some time this week, but I got to be on business this week, honey. I done joined a new business venture I'm gonna come to y'all about later on this week. But the irony is I got 156 messages, and the time frame on your video was, I do believe, 1 hour and 56 minutes long of you on some darn going self-hating shit. As if you ain't part of the damn community to the fullest. Like you ain't a whole darn on butch bullfrog darn on lesbian, honey. As if the comments that they say about me, they don't say worse about you. And on that note, I'm going to end right on there with the hypocrisy with darn on bullfrog looking darn on Yvette Carnell. And Lord knows, I keep darn on wanting to say the other name because her darn on first name is the last name of the bitch who will not be named up on this darn on channel. So that's why I always slip up and want to call her that darn on word that starts with I. That's anything but serene, honey. Over there darn on promoting your darn on bigotry and division over there with the motherfucking water bug, bitch. But y'all want to be darn on talking shit. Let it make sense. And then half of y'all over there walking darn on contradiction and hypocrisy to your own darn on doctrine. But like I said, I won't even reach into your darn on contradiction, boo-boo. Because I've already addressed enough of the relevant people that I would have a conversation with, despite our disagreements on the subject, honey. I will darn on at least entertain conversation with people who I can see that can engage in a civil conversation for the most part. Even though most of them probably won't come across this video. And that's okay, but I'm still going to speak my piece regardless. Or whether they come across the video or not. It is what the fuck it is. But one thing I will not do is be complicit in the bullshit. One thing I will not do is damn sure won't be like Miss motherfucking darn on Abin's bullfrog. And darn on turn on my own fellow LGBT black folks and they're gonna be on some Black Lives Matter when y'all don't turn around, and if I get shot dead, y'all wouldn't be out there for me. But guess what? I'm still gonna be out there on the front lines for all of us. Because once again, I recognize I'm black first. And blackness first. And you know the irony that somebody that I named earlier, I think they coined the term black first. That's a whole nother conversation. But if you truly black first, you're supposed to be for all black people. But time and time again, like I said, now show me that one video. You know what, second thought, I ain't a second thought, never mind. Because I do believe Taz can show me at least one. So for the exception of Taz, every last one of y'all, show me the video that y'all actually said stuff in positivity or in defense of doggone black LGBT people who have been going through the same issue that the rest of black folks has been going through. The racism. Like I said, now Taz ass, I do recall he had done 1 or 2 videos. Out of 1,000 videos he's done, I can count on my hand how many times that he's done something for black LGBT, but he actually has nonetheless, I believe. So I let you slide for the most part. But Phil, I'm still looking for your darn on pork chop mouth looking having ass. Ready or not, here I come. I'm trying to find you. I'm trying to find you, pork chop mouth. You up on there looking like an old darn on character, honey. And I hate to even go there. But like I said, yeah, you the main one wanting to joke and talk about what would happen to two gay men up in the hotel room. And you over there looking like a figurine up in a darn on Klansman house. But I'll leave it at that because like I said, I ain't even want to turn this shit into a roasting session. But honey, it be so hard to keep my composure at times with some of these people right here. Cause like I said, I respect they craft, I do. But at times they need to be called to task. Ain't nobody above being called the fuck out. Although some irrelevant bitches, you just got to leave them where they lie, honey. With their contradicting asses. But that's it, y'all. Y'all leave y'all comments, thoughts, suggestions down below. Feel free to like or thumbs down. You know, the options there for you. We don't discriminate over here. Hell, I've been letting one of y'all be thumbs down the video the whole time. You thought I forgot about you, honey? I ain't forgot about you, honey. You can stay lurking over here. This video, honey, you got a reason to thumb me down today, honey. You been thumbs down to my NutriBurst videos and everything else that don't even pertain to black issues. Honey, I really giving you a reason to thumbs down the video today. So you go ahead. Hell, go ahead and create your 7 more accounts and darn gonna thumbs it down while you at it. View is a motherfucking view, honey. And on that note, y'all, I will be back soon with my next YouTube video, honey. Mwah.